Let me out of here. I don't deserve this. She deserves all that I did to her.
With signed testimony, Kelechi's fate was sealed. What had begun as an evening of glitz and glamour at a jewelry show now spiraled into the full unmasking of a long-hidden crime. The community, once sympathetic toward Kelechi, was horrified. She had not only framed her foster sister, she had also murdered the very people who gave her a home. Her trial was inevitable. The High Court was filled to the brim. News of Kelechi's trial had spread far and wide, and everyone wanted to witness the downfall of the girl once considered lucky to have been adopted by Chukwudi and Amoka, the very family she destroyed. Chidinma sat quietly in the front row beside Madam Ebra and Chief Okafor, her new guardians. Emeka was behind her, his steady presence giving her courage. The atmosphere was tense, the air thick with anticipation. When Kelechi was led into the dock, dressed in a faded prison gown, the gallery erupted in murmurs. Once full of arrogance and pride, she now looked pale, disheveled, and broken. But her eyes still darted with defiance. The prosecutor began his case with calm precision. My lord, the accused, Kelechi, is guilty of multiple charges: attempted theft, false accusation, attempted poisoning, and most grievously, conspiracy to murder Chukwudi and Amoka, the very couple who raised her. The first witness called was the auction security chief. He testified about the jewelry theft, replaying the CCTV footage for the courtroom. Gasps filled the hall as everyone watched Kelechi slip the necklace into Chidinma's bag. Then came Ifeanyi, the gang member. Wearing handcuffs, he stood in the witness box, his voice trembling. It was Kelechi, she paid us. She told us to damage the car brakes. She said once her foster parents died, she would inherit everything. Do you swear this is the truth? The judge asked Stanley. Yes, my lord. I swear. I regret it now, but she masterminded everything. Without her, we would never have touched the car. The crowd erupted. Some women in the gallery shouted, God forbid. Wicked girl. Others shook their heads in disbelief. Kelechi, unable to contain herself, screamed, lies. They are lying against me. But her voice cracked with fear. The prosecutor then presented the damning evidence: text messages on Kelechi's phone discussing payment with Ifeanyi, bank transactions, and testimonies from neighbors who had once noticed her strange movements on the day of the accident. Finally, the judge asked if the victim, Chidinma, had anything to say. Chidinma stood, her body trembling slightly, but her voice was steady. My lord, I lost my parents to her wickedness. She took away my childhood and left me with scars. For years I suffered under her cruelty, yet I never wished her harm. Today, standing here, I say this: I forgive her. But forgiveness does not erase justice. She must face the consequences of what she has done. The courtroom fell silent. Even the judge paused, clearly moved by Chidinma's words. After a long moment, the gavel struck. This court finds the accused, Kelechi, guilty on all counts. For conspiracy to murder, fraud, attempted theft, and attempted poisoning, she is hereby sentenced to 35 years in prison with hard labor. The gallery erupted, some clapped, others sighed in relief. Kelechi collapsed, wailing. Chidinma, please, forgive me. I didn't mean for it to end this way. Her cries echoed, but no one rushed to her aid. She was dragged away by warders, chains rattling against the floor. Chidinma, though her eyes glistened with tears, lifted her chin. She whispered, almost to herself, I survived. God has lifted me beyond the reach of your hatred. Outside the court, reporters swarmed her, snapping pictures. Madam Ebra proudly declared, this girl, once abandoned, has risen above evil. She is proof that truth always wins. Years later, Chidinma fulfilled her promise. She completed her education, started her own business, and launched the Chukwudi and Amoka Foundation for Orphans. At the grand opening, She stood before hundreds, her voice confident. Out of pain, God gave me purpose. My life is proof that light will always conquer darkness. The applause was thunderous, and for the first time in her life, Chidinma felt fully free. Meanwhile, in the cold silence of her prison cell, Kelechi sat alone, haunted by her choices, forgotten by the world she once tried to impress. And so, the story of the two daughters ended, one broken by envy, the other crowned by grace.